Hello, I'm Phoenix, and I just ran into this question on the Squarespace subreddit. You're probably reading this, I'll be linking this video right over here. So, asking for a button to enable the dark mode, and I just spent the last hour and a half writing this quick little plugin. You could just copy paste to your Squarespace site and get this functionality. Never mind the different colors here, the plugin works with any colors, so this is just demonstrating that. I made this into a premium plugin because I'm a pro developer and I need to make a living. I hope you don't think it's unreasonably priced. If you think it is, shoot me a message. Maybe we can make some sort of a deal. Anyway, I decided for all the adventurous and DIY types or developers, I wanted to describe how this plugin works. If you don't want to buy it and if you want to make your own version, then I'm gonna now demonstrate how I made this. So, in Squarespace 7.1, we have these things called sections. We can duplicate them, and the most important thing is that we can add a color theme to a section. And this plugin of mine uses these color sections in a pretty clever way. First you build your website using like any of the sections you want, but I'm kind of assuming you're gonna be using one section like the lightest to build like your basic bright version of your website. If you use others colorful things as well, the plugin still works, but I think this is easiest to understand if we'll just be using, for example, the lightest. So you'll spare one of these color themes for your dark theme. So the way the plugin works is that it will take your dark theme, whatever it looks like, and when the user clicks on the button, it will make every section on your website look like your darkest theme. It essentially applies this styling of your dark color theme to all the sections. So this is what you're seeing is happening here when we click this button. And with this you can create any color scheme you want. You don't have to be like white like #FFF. It can be gray, light gray, it can be dark gray, anything you want. So when we look a little bit into the source code, we'll notice that each of these sections with a color palette, they have a distinct CSS class. For example, this one, this is probably named wrong because this is actually the black bold, which I think is the darkest two. Let's take something that has the correct name. So for example, the light one has a CSS class called light. So you'll be checking these CSS classes, and then we can specify one which will be our dark theme, and then we'll just enable that CSS class name to all the sections, including the header section. And then we'll be using jQuery, which is a JavaScript library, to just prepend any kind of button to the navigation menu. We can add some CSS. For example, here I've added a CSS gradient to kind of make it look like this thing, and I added a little hover effect. And clicking on this button will just toggle those CSS classes for each section. Now, to get the effect working in a way that even if the user refreshes the page, it's gonna remember, you'll be using some simple cookies. So you will just add a cookie called dark mode, and then you'll be getting the cookie, and if the cookie says dark mode, then you'll again apply the CSS class to each section, and if it says bright, you do nothing. So that's pretty much how it works. It's pretty simple in what it does. I think it's a pretty elegant solution, and I was able to do this because of the lovely way Squarespace 7.1 has been developed with these sections and the color palette and the CSS class. And I think this is actually really easy to use. This is one of my easiest to use plugins and one of the most flexible, because indeed you can use any color palettes in any way you like and make even crazy things if you want. And all these little animations and things are really easy to adjust the spacing. How many times do you want this to spin, or what do you want this to look like? I hope you enjoyed this. Feel free to send any emails, WhatsApp messages. I hope you'll try the plugin. I rather like this. I think this is a pretty cool, and I was so really happy when I saw this thing and I realized it can be done. Anyway, I won't take your time any longer. Thank you for watching, and be in touch with me for any Squarespace work where you might need a pro developer. Alright, cheers.